Robert Redford, the ultimate Hollywood heartthrob, captivated audiences for decades with his charm and talent. But behind the fame and silver screen glory lay a hidden story of love and heartbreak. At 88, the legendary actor is finally revealing the secret he kept for years, the story of the greatest love of his life. Who was the woman who left an unforgettable mark on his heart? And why did he guard this truth so tightly? The answers are as compelling as the man himself. 1. Humble start. Robert Redford, the golden-haired Hollywood icon whose smile lit up the screen in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and The Way We Were alongside Barbra Streisand. But before the fame, the red carpets, and the larger-than-life roles, Redford was just a kid from a working-class family in Santa Monica, California. His dad was an accountant, his mom kept the house running, and their modest life in Venice was a far cry from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Even as a boy, Robert had something different about him. While his classmates were busy following the rules, he was busy dreaming. School never captured his attention. He'd later call himself a bad student, but hand him a tennis racket or a paintbrush, and he was in his element. Art, sports, and the great outdoors were his passions, and he pursued them with a quiet intent. His love for tennis even landed him a once-in-a-lifetime moment, warming up tennis legend Pancho Gonzalez at the Los Angeles Tennis Club. Imagine that, a teenage Redford, just a regular kid, brushing shoulders with greatness before anyone knew his name. That spark, that hunger for more was always there. While he didn't fit the traditional mold of an academic achiever, Redford was busy carving his own path. Who would have guessed that this daydreaming kid from Venice, more comfortable with a paintbrush than a textbook, would one day become one of the most beloved stars in Hollywood history? 2. Redford's turning point. School was never Robert Redford's thing, and college didn't exactly go as planned. At the University of Colorado, things spiraled. He started drinking heavily, lost his scholarship, and eventually got kicked out. For most, that might have been the end of the road, but for Redford, it was just the start of something bigger. He set off on a journey across Europe, wandering through France, Spain, and Italy, living simply, sketching and painting, and discovering himself. It was in those quiet moments, immersed in art and culture, that the first spark of acting ignited. By the time he returned to the U.S., he was ready to embrace a new path. Redford moved to New York City, studying painting at Pratt Institute while giving acting a shot at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Success didn't come overnight, no big breaks, no overnight stardom, but he stuck with it, grinding through small roles on stage and early TV appearances, determined to make his mark. The rest, as they say, is history in the making. Take a moment to relax, maybe grab your favorite drink, and join us as we dive into the incredible life of Robert Redford. 3. Redford's great love. In the late 1950s, Robert Redford met the woman who would forever shape his life, Lola Van Wagenen. She was everything he wasn't, calm, grounded, and deeply rooted in her Mormon faith. Coming from Provo, Utah, her world was a far cry from Robert's free-spirited California upbringing, but opposites attract, and their connection was undeniable. So undeniable, in fact, that they eloped in 1958, defying her parents' wishes. Picture it. Two young dreamers, barely more than kids, running off to get married because their love couldn't wait. It was the kind of story Hollywood dreams of, but their real-life romance was far from easy. In those early years, life was a struggle. Robert was a struggling actor, money was tight, and they lived in tiny apartments, scraping by on whatever work he could find. Then came an unthinkable tragedy. Their first child, Scott, passed away from sudden infant death syndrome. It was a loss so devastating it could have torn them apart, but instead it brought them closer. Lola's strength became Robert's anchor during those dark days, and he often described her as the love of his life. Through heartbreak, uncertainty, and the ups and downs of a life chasing dreams, Lola stood by him, always believing he'd find his place in the world, and he did, with her unwavering support by his side. 4. Stardom's cost. Robert Redford's rise to fame began with his breakout performance in the Broadway hit Barefoot in the Park in 1963, where his charm as a newlywed opposite Elizabeth Ashley won over audiences and caught Hollywood's eye. Soon he was landing TV roles on The Twilight Zone and Perry Mason, paving the way to the big screen. By the late 60s, Redford had skyrocketed to stardom with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid alongside Paul Newman. The film was a massive success, and their electric chemistry turned Redford into both a household name and a Hollywood heartthrob. But with fame came an unrelenting workload. He was constantly on set, his life consumed by his craft. At home, Lola was left to manage their growing family, Shauna, David, and Amy, often on her own. The distance and long periods apart began to wear on their marriage. Redford later admitted that his ambition sometimes overshadowed his role as a husband and father. He worked tirelessly, driven by a need to solidify his legacy, but in the process, he struggled to balance career and family life. Looking back, he expressed regret for not prioritizing them more, acknowledging how the pressures of fame shaped the choices he made. Still, even as their marriage faced difficulties, Lola remained a source of strength, supporting him through the highs and lows of his burgeoning career. Lola wasn't just his partner, she was his confidant and a vital influence on his creative endeavors. When Redford conceived the Sundance Film Festival, a passion project aimed at fostering independent filmmakers and innovative voices, it was Lola's encouragement that helped bring it to life. Her belief in his vision pushed him to take the leap, ultimately shaping a movement in cinema that continues to thrive today. Despite the strained fame brought to their relationship, their shared moments and collaboration left an indelible impact on both Redford's career and the world of film. 5. A narrow ends. By the mid-1980s, the cracks in Robert and Lola's marriage had grown too wide to bridge. In 1985, after 27 years together, they made the difficult decision to divorce. It wasn't a bitter split. They remained friends and co-parented their children with mutual respect. Still, the end of their marriage marked the close of a profound chapter in Robert's life. He later called Lola the love of his life, a testament to the depth of their bond. Despite their separation, she left an indelible mark on him, shaping the man and artist he had become. The divorce brought major changes for Robert, both personally and professionally. Losing the steady presence of his marriage was no small blow, but he faced the heartbreak with resilience. This was a turning point, forcing him to reassess what mattered most and to navigate the next phase of his life on his own terms. Through the pain, Robert found strength in his work, pouring his energy into filmmaking, acting, and expanding his impact on the industry. Even in the wake of loss, he didn't let it define him. Instead, he channeled his emotions into creativity, continuing to evolve as both a person and an artist. The heartbreak may have left scars, but it also spurred him to keep moving forward, showing that even the end of an era could bring new beginnings. 6. A whirlwind affair. In 1987, just 2 years after his divorce, Robert Redford crossed paths with Sonia Braga, the fiery Brazilian actress known for her bold roles and magnetic presence. Their connection was instant and electric. Sonia's passionate energy perfectly matched Robert's intensity, making their short-lived romance unforgettable. Though their time together lasted less than a year, it was anything but ordinary. At the time, Robert was immersed in promoting the Milagro Beanfield War, a film he directed that delved into the struggles of a small New Mexico town against corporate greed. While the movie didn't dominate the box office, it reflected Redford's love for storytelling with heart and purpose, values that resonated with Sonia. Their relationship was, together they attended the Cannes Film Festival, lighting up the red carpet with their undeniable chemistry. But as brightly as their romance burned, it faded just as quickly. By 1988, they had amicably parted ways, each continuing down their respective paths. For Robert, that meant returning to his craft, and just a couple of years later, he was back on set, filming Havana in 1990. Their brief love story, though fleeting, remains a colorful chapter in Redford's journey. 7. A Spark with Lena. In the early 90s, Robert Redford's life took another intriguing turn when he met Lena Olin, the stunning Swedish actress with captivating eyes and a magnetic charm. Their chemistry wasn't confined to the screen, it spilled over into real life. Watching their scenes together, you could feel the undeniable pull between them, and at the film's premiere, their kiss made it clear. This was no act. Their romance, though brief at about a year, was as intense as it was meaningful. During their time together, Robert and Lena connected on more than just a romantic level. They shared creativity and vulnerability, a pairing that mirrored Redford's passion for depth in his work. At the time, he was immersed in Havana, a film set against the revolutionary backdrop of 1950s Cuba. The movie was rich with political tension and layered storytelling, aligning with Robert's love for meaningful projects. That same intensity found its way into his relationship with Lena, creating a dynamic that was both passionate and artistic. But as with many Hollywood romances, the flame burned brightly but briefly. By 1991, they had gone their separate ways, though their time together left a mark on both. For Robert, Lena was more than just a chapter in his love life. She was a reminder of the beauty found in shared creativity and emotional openness. Love behind the scenes. By the mid-1990s, Robert Redford was proving that age was just a number. At 58, he starred opposite Michelle Pfeiffer in Up Close and Personal, a romantic drama that had audiences swooning. Playing a seasoned journalist falling for a rising TV anchor, Robert's signature charm and rugged good looks made him the perfect leading man. While the film captured themes of love, mentorship, and ambition, off-screen, Robert's own love life was quietly evolving. This time, Robert was romantically linked to Cathy O'Rear, a talented costume designer nearly 2 decades his junior. Unlike the high-profile romances of his past, their relationship stayed far from the glare of Hollywood spotlight. Cathy wasn't part of the glitzy world of movie stars, and perhaps that's what made their connection so refreshing. Grounded and creative, she offered Robert a sense of stability amidst the constant motion of his career. Their relationship was understated, private, and unburdened by the public scrutiny that often accompanied Redford's fame. For a man who had spent decades in the public eye, this quieter chapter seemed to offer him a reprieve. Cathy brought a sense of calm to his life during a period when the chaos of Hollywood could feel overwhelming, proving that love doesn't always need a spotlight to shine. At Robert Redford's journey, drop a 1 in the comments, and if not, let us know with a 0. Your feedback means the world to us. 9.icon and innovate. By the late 1990, Robert Redford wasn't just a Hollywood star, he was a force shaping the industry itself. Following Up Close and Personal, he took on one of his most emotional projects yet, The Horse Whisperer, 1998. Not only did he direct the film, but he also starred in it, playing a man who heals broken horses while helping a family mend their own wounds. The film was a commercial success, solidifying Redford's ability to captivate audiences both on screen and behind the camera. Beyond his roles, Robert's influence as a storyteller and visionary was undeniable. Through the Sundance Film Festival, he championed independent cinema, giving a voice to filmmakers who might never have been heard otherwise. His commitment to meaningful, risk-taking projects made him more than just a movie star. He became a cultural icon, admired for his talent, creativity, and vision. Heck became an overwhelming, very smart person. Redford's work wasn't just entertainment, it was a testament to the power of stories to inspire and provoke change. Yet, balancing love and work remained a constant challenge. From the passionate whirlwind with Sonia Braga to the creative spark with Lena Olin and the quiet stability of Cathy O'Rear, each relationship reflected a unique chapter in his life. Just as his films revealed different facets of his artistry, these women brought out different sides of him, reminding us that for Redford, life was as multifaceted as the stories he loved to tell. 10. Fonda's confession. Even among his closest collaborators, Robert Redford had a way of leaving an indelible mark. Jane Fonda, his longtime co-star and friend, once confessed that she had been in love with him during their work on films like Barefoot in the Park and The Electric Horseman. Despite her admiration, she admitted he wasn't always easy to work with, showing up late or in a bad mood on occasion. But there was something magnetic about him that kept her captivated. Their professional partnership, spanning decades, never turned romantic, yet it added a layer of depth and complexity to Redford's story. As the 2000s approached, Robert continued to redefine his career beyond acting. He directed The Legend of Bagger Vance, championed environmental causes, and produced socially conscious films like The Motorcycle Diaries. His passions extended far beyond the silver screen, reflecting a man who was always evolving, always seeking purpose. Whether through filmmaking, activism, or mentorship, Robert's legacy grew richer with every step he took. Looking back, his personal relationships mirrored his fearless approach to work. From the whirlwind romance with Sonia Braga to the creative connection with Lena Olin and the quiet comfort of Kathy O'Rear, each woman played a unique role in his journey. Just as his films added layers to his career, these relationships brought depth to his life. For Redford, love and art were intertwined, both filled with risks, rewards, and the beauty of living fully. 11 down, a real connection. Robert Redford's life took a heartfelt turn when he met Sybil Sagers, a gifted artist and environmental activist. Their meeting wasn't some glitzy Hollywood moment. It was simple, genuine, and set against the serene backdrop of his Sundance Mountain Resort. Sybil arrived there in the late 1998, knowing little about Robert's fame. Imagine meeting him without the shadow of stardom. A refreshing change for a man who had spent decades under the spotlight. Having grown up with no knowledge of the procedures and precedents for athletic conduct, he was untethered. He never understood. In fact, she later admitted she rented several of his movies before their first dinner just to get familiar. But Robert didn't mention them at all, letting their connection be about who they were, not what he'd done. That authenticity became the cornerstone of their relationship. Robert once said that her initial lack of knowledge about his acting career made their bond feel more human, more real. Away from the cameras and flashing lights, they discovered a shared passion for creativity and the environment, building a life grounded in mutual respect and understanding. Over time, their connection only deepened, culminating in a private wedding ceremony in 2009 in Sybilette's hometown of Hamburg, Germany. It was a quiet, intimate celebration, a fitting start for a love story built not on Hollywood glamour, but on a genuine partnership that brought new joy to Robert's life. 12A shared mission. Sybil A. Sagers isn't just an artist, she's a creative force whose work reflects her deep love for nature and her passion for protecting the environment. Through painting, sketching, and performance art, she celebrates the beauty of the earth while raising awareness about the urgent need to safeguard it. Together, Sybil and Robert Redford became a dynamic duo of activism, combining their talents to make a difference. Their partnership reached new heights when they co-founded The Way of the Rain, a nonprofit organization where Sybil's evocative art and Robert's powerful storytelling merged to promote environmental protection. Their shared commitment to the planet became a cornerstone of their relationship, deepening their bond and aligning their life's work. Robert once remarked that Sybil gave him a whole new life, a sentiment that speaks to the profound connection they share. Through their work and their love, they've shown how creativity and purpose can intersect to inspire change. As Sybil's art reached new audiences and Robert's advocacy gained even more impact, their partnership became not just a marriage but a mission, a testament to the power of shared passions to strengthen a relationship and leave a lasting legacy. Thank you for sticking with us through this celebration of Robert Redford's remarkable story. Leave a 2 in the comments to let us know you're still here. 13. Family and legacy. In his later years, Robert Redford's devotion to his family remained unwavering, a central thread in his life story. He and his first wife, Lola Van Wagenen, had 4 children, Scott, Shauna, James, and Amy. Their firstborn, Scott, tragically passed away from SIDS at just 2 months old, a loss that Robert has said left a permanent scar on his heart. In interviews, he's spoken openly about how the pain of losing Scott never truly went away, shaping his perspective on life and deepening his appreciation for family. That loss gave him a profound sense of resilience and connection, influencing the way he raised his remaining children. Among them, his second son, James Redford, emerged as a remarkable reflection of his father's values. James became an acclaimed filmmaker and environmental activist, using his talent for storytelling to highlight urgent global issues. His advocacy extended to organ and tissue donation, a cause rooted in his personal experience undergoing 2 liver transplants. Together, Robert and James co-founded the Redford Center, a nonprofit dedicated to creating films that inspire environmental change. Through their shared efforts, they combined creativity and purpose, leaving a meaningful impact on both the film industry and the world. Losing James to liver cancer in 2020 was another devastating blow for Robert, a grief compounded by pride in what his son had accomplished. He described James as a man full of hope and determination, someone who sought to make the world a better place despite his challenges. James's legacy lives on not only in the transformative projects he championed, but also in the love he shared with his family and the inspiration he gave to others. 14. The creative legacy lives on. Robert Redford's creative spirit is alive and well in his two daughters, Shauna and Amy, who have both embraced their own artistic paths. Shauna, born in 1960, has carved out a quiet but impactful life as an artist. Preferring to stay out of the spotlight, her work reflects a quiet strength that echoes her father's own grounded nature. Married to author Eric Schlosser, Shauna has raised two children, Micah and Connor, who are now forging their own unique paths, continuing the family's creative legacy. Amy, the youngest of the Redford children, is another powerhouse of creativity. As a filmmaker, director, and producer, she has blended Robert's storytelling instincts with her own fresh vision. From directing feature films and music videos to creating short films, Amy's work often focuses on amplifying women's voices and exploring the intersection of art and motherhood. Raising three daughters while building her career, Amy embodies the determination and passion that Robert has long admired. Her ability to balance family and creative pursuits is a testament to the influence of her father's legacy. And then there are the grandchildren, 7 in total, each carrying forward a piece of the Redford story. Whether through art, storytelling, or simply living with purpose, the next generation reflects the values and creativity that have defined their family. For Robert, seeing his children and grandchildren embrace their own passions while honoring the principles he holds dear is one of the greatest legacies of all. 15. Dead legacy at sea and beyond. Robert Redford has found immense joy in watching the next generation of his family grow, particularly as they carry on his creative spirit. His grandson Dylan, for instance, has embraced the family's legacy in filmmaking and even convinced Robert to lend his iconic voice to a film called Omniboat, a fast boat fantasia. Yes, you read that right, Robert Redford voicing a dolphin. It's a testament to his sense of humor and unwavering support for his family's creative endeavors. Even as his family thrived, Robert continued to push boundaries in his own career. In the 2010 rodeos, he delivered some of the most captivating performances of his life. In All Is Lost, 2013, he played a man stranded at sea in a film almost entirely devoid of dialogue. Alone with the ocean and the struggle for survival, Robert's performance earned critical acclaim, with many calling it one of his finest. It was a raw, intimate portrayal that underscored his enduring ability to mesmerize audiences, even without words. Redford then surprised fans with a turn as the villainous Alexander Pierce in Marvel's Captain America: The Winter Soldier, 2014. As the calculating mastermind behind Hydra, he was a far cry from the heroic characters of his early career. The role showcased his range and willingness to take risks, proving that even in his later years, Robert Redford wasn't done redefining himself or his legacy. 16. The final bow. In 2018, Robert Redford announced his retirement from acting after starring in The Old Man and the Gun. The role of a charming, aging bank robber felt like a poetic bookend to his career, echoing the charisma and wit he brought to Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid, decades earlier. Critics and audiences alike hailed the performance as a perfect farewell, full of adventure, nostalgia, and heart. Yet, in true Redford fashion, he later confessed to regretting the retirement announcement, saying, "You never know." Sure enough, he surprised fans with a brief return as Alexander Pierce in Avengers: Endgame, proving once again that he still had stories left to tell. Storytelling has always been the thread running through every facet of Robert's life, whether on screen, behind the camera, or in his personal endeavors. His passion for exploring humanity and creating meaningful narratives has never wavered. His career spans decades of roles that challenged, entertained, and inspired millions. But his storytelling extends far beyond Hollywood, from his creative partnerships to his activism to the way he worked alongside his children, such as co-founding the Redford Center with his late son James Robert's life, has been a testament to the power of art and purpose Now, with his wife Sibylle by his side, Robert focuses on what truly matters: family, art, and the environment. Their shared commitment to activism and creativity has been a cornerstone of his later years, adding new depth to his already extraordinary legacy. He once said, "Life is about learning and growing, no matter your age," and his journey reflects that. As a father, grandfather, artist, and advocate, Robert Redford has left an indelible mark not just as a Hollywood legend, but as a man who believed in the power of stories to change the world. His legacy is one of love, loss, resilience, and a relentless drive to make a difference, both on and off the screen. 17, honored at the César Award. On February 22, at the 44th César Award ceremony in Paris, American icon Robert Redford was presented with the prestigious honorary César Award, a fitting tribute to his lifelong contributions to the art of cinema. Redford, who won an Academy Award for Best Director for Ordinary People in 1981, is no stranger to accolades. He was also nominated for Best Actor for The Sting, 1973, and Best Director for Quiz Show, 1994. In 2002, the Academy honored him with the Lifetime Achievement Oscar, cementing his legacy as one of the most influential figures in film. That was Michael Sebastian, the greatest leading man known as Pitt. Ultimately, he resigned from both Hollywood and radio, calling beyond his achievements as an actor and director. Redford has made an indelible mark as a producer and the founder of the Sundance Film Festival, a globally renowned platform for independent cinema. Today, Redford spends much of his time away from the limelight, embracing a quieter life with his wife, artist and environmental activist Sibylle Sagers. Together, they live surrounded by nature, dividing their time between their homes in Utah and New Mexico. Their shared commitment to environmental causes continues to thrive, particularly through their nonprofit, The Way of the Rain, which merges Sibylle's art and Robert's storytelling to raise awareness about climate change. Despite stepping back from acting, Robert remains deeply engaged in advocacy and creative projects, proving his relentless passion for making a difference. During the César ceremony, Alain Terzian, president of the French Academy of Cinema Arts and Techniques, praised Redford's enduring legacy. Throughout his career, Robert Redford has left a remarkable mark on the world of cinema. He is undeniably an icon. Many of his films, whether he was in front of or behind the camera, have become timeless classics. Few have had such a lasting impact on the history of film as he has. The honor receiver is not just an award, it's a celebration of a man who continues to inspire through his art, advocacy, and quiet devotion to the things that matter most: family, creativity, and the environment. Even now, Robert Redford remains a living legend, his influence resonating far beyond the silver screen. If you enjoyed exploring Robert Redford's extraordinary journey with us, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. And we want to hear from you. What's your favorite Robert Redford role or memory? Drop it in the comments below.